Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to our big ride Gran Fondo training session. My name is Steve. I'll be your coach this morning. Nice to see everybody. We got an excellent little workout here. But first we're gonna, do our usual warm up, get those legs ready. Body tuned up this morning. So when we start the real work, we feel pretty good. Just riding easy here for a few minutes, then we'll get going. So our ride this morning is going to be simulating a longer hill climb. For any of you that are doing fondos or have done them in the past, you'll know that usually when you get to the big hill is when things get a little bit more serious. So we're kind of going to walk through that, feel it out, talk about a few key points as we're doing that. And we'll gain some fitness while we're at it. So I just want to lock in. Hopefully you're all set up, ready to go. About 5 out of 10 effort, around 90 RPM. So I'll be riding here at a relatively easy pace for about 2 minutes. And then we'll start to take the resistance up a little bit at a time. After that, we'll do some cadence work. Take a breather. And then get into our main work, our big hill. So, just getting comfortable here on our saddles. Tracing those circles with the feet. One continuous motion, nice and smooth. You want to stay nice and relaxed in the upper body, chest open so we can breathe. Slight bend in those elbows, relaxed grip on the handlebar. We're just warming up. Another minute here at 5 out of 10. Then we'll get going into our aerobic zone. Spend a bit longer there. Want those knees tracking straight up and down, getting the power that we're making going into the pedals as best as possible. Okay, we'll start to inch that resistance up into that 6 out of 10 effort zone. You can do that now, staying at the 90 RPM. A little bit more work, nothing too crazy. Keep it steady here on this cadence, around 90. Generally our most efficient riding zone for the leg speed. About another minute, then we'll do a few small accelerations without changing the gear, just to start to liven things up. There we go. Steady here. We'll start to feel that heart rate picking up now. Need to get a little bit sweaty as we warm up. I'm a bit sweaty. Just finished about an hour warm up, Did another workout. Okay, so for these accelerations, staying at 90 here, I'll call us to accelerate. Just pick it up to about 100 RPM. Because we're not changing the resistance, the pace will pick up. That's what we're looking for. They'll be short. And in between, we come back to this 90 RPM, which should bring us right back to this 6 out of 10 effort. Okay, first one coming in 3, 2, 1. Accelerate. Speeding those legs up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. Back on to 90 RPM. Settle in. We'll do a couple of these. It's important to have a good warm up. So when we start the workout, you're warm, you're ready to go. Don't need to be shocked in those first couple of minutes starting the workout. Not a good feeling. Okay, we'll accelerate again in 3, 2, 1. Around 100 RPM. Keep that shoulders and head steady. Only thing that's changing is the legs. And we'll settle back into 90 here again. Feel like we're scraping through the bottom of our pedal stroke. Driving those knees up each time. Keeping it solid and connected all the way around the turn. Let's accelerate again. 3, 2, 1. Step it up. Nice little change in pace. Back to 90. Check to make sure you're still on that 6 out of 10 effort. You know, there's some sneaky bikes out there that like to add resistance. We don't need that to happen just yet. Okay, one last acceleration here. Maybe a bit higher, 105. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Yeah, speedy legs, good. Settle back into 90 RPM now. Okay, so in 20 seconds we're gonna go up to 7 out of 10. A little bit more effort. And once we've been there for about a minute and a half, we'll alternate between seated and standing a few times. Towards the end of our long climb, we've got a bit of standing, so I want to make sure we're ready for that. Here we go, 7 out of 10 effort. Add another gear or 2. 90 RPM. Steady on the pedals here. We want those legs pushing and pulling. Generating power throughout our pedal stroke. It's very natural just to push down on the pedals. We want to feel the foot scrape through the bottom of the pedal stroke, and then drive the knee back up. So we're pulling up on the pedals and producing power. The different set of muscles. Okay, and before we stand each time, we'll just slow the feet down just a tiny bit, just to help match up with that rhythm when we stand. And I don't want us to overthink it too much. Stand, find a good rhythm, keep it lively. Doesn't matter if you can't keep your cadence at a certain number. Keep it smooth. Hit that rhythm. Okay, slow the feet a little bit and we'll stand in 3, 2, 1, up we go. I'll get that body weight over the pedals. Putting it to work. Yeah, nice job. And back in the saddle. 90 RPM. First one looked good. We'll keep doing that a couple more times. Okay, we'll get ready to stand again. Slight drop in cadence, and back out of the saddle we go. I want to keep most of that body weight over the pedals, tall in the upper body. There we go. Good, back to seated now. 90 RPM, we'll stand 2 more times before we make our last resistance change. This should be definitely getting us breathing a bit heavier, getting that heart rate in the right spot. Warming up. Okay, ready to stand again. Think about your cadence, and up we go. Keep that tailbone hovering over the tip of our saddles. I want to keep the knees away from our bar. Yeah, nicely done. Back to seated. We'll stand one more time, and then when we sit, we'll take it up to 8 out of 10 effort, just briefly. Okay, ready to stand, one last time. 3, 2, 1, up we go. Yeah, good rhythm, eyes up the road. Nothing on the floor is gonna help you out. Good, back in the saddle. 90 RPM. Add a gear or 2. 8 out of 10 effort. Nice strong press here. Hold this for about 45 seconds, and then we'll get a breather. Should feel like you're doing some quality work here. I know, making us work hard in the warm-up. Who is this guy? Ten more seconds. Okay, great. Dial it back nice and easy. Take a little breather here. Catch your breath, get some water in. Hopefully you're starting to feel warm. Getting a little sweaty. Okay, so in about half a minute we'll do some single leg riding. Great little drill that we can do indoors. A bit trickier outside. Definitely safer to be doing on your stationary bike, especially if it's your first time. We do this a lot in the studio throughout the winter. And then people go and try it outside and realize it's a little bit tougher outdoors. Like, my bike's moving? Why am I not good at this anymore? It's a great drill. It really cues you into what muscles are sleeping when you're riding with both feet on the pedals. Those would be the ones that are burning the quickest. When we drop down to single leg. It's important to get set up properly, so about 80 RPM, nice controlled cadence. Power is probably going to be somewhere between 70 and 100 watts. You need to feel that connection to the bike, but not be overdoing it. Otherwise your legs will be burning right away. Okay, once you're sorted, take off that right foot, riding with left leg only. Here we go. Right away you notice you need that strong core to keep the upper body centered over our bike. Otherwise you'll be leaning left to right. That's no good. And about now you're finding those muscles that have been snoozing. We're waking them up here. Engaging them, getting them working. Let them know they're not on break anymore. Okay, we'll take this focus over to the opposite leg. Here we go. Switch sides. Same thing, strong core. Centered over our frame. Try and keep those shoulders relaxed. And we got that right leg moving now. Should be nice and quiet at home, smooth circles. Avoiding those flat spots. Scrape through the bottom, drive the knee up. Yeah, that's it. Okay, good. We'll get both feet back on the pedals now. You can stay in this nice light gear. And we'll take about 2 minutes of time. Get some water, get ready to go. I'll walk us through the workout on the board here. Then we'll get started. Okay. So, what we got here, we got 3 minutes to 60%, 90 to 100 RPM. Pretty nice pace to start out in our aerobic zone there. Then we jump up, we've got 7 minutes. We get into the hill. 75% output, 90 to 95 RPM. So keeping it lively, not crazy steep, but it goes on for a while. So we need to stay focused there. Then the grade picks up a bit. We've got a minute at 80%. Same cadence, 85 to 90, sorry, a bit lower. Then we got another minute, 80% again, in the low 80s with the cadence. Then we got 3 minutes where it flattens out. We have a false flat, 60% output, livelier legs, 90 to 100 RPM. Then we're back to climbing. 5 minutes, 70 to 75%, 80 to 85 RPM. Things start to pick up a bit with the pace. 2 minutes, 80 to 90%. Wowzers, that's going to be tough there. And then we stand for a minute, and our final minute as the hill starts to flatten out at 70%. We'll really push it over the top. Make sure we get into the downhill section before our work is done. I know, it sounds great. We're going to go in a minute. Make sure you've had water. Should be feeling pretty good by now. We had a solid warm-up. It's time to get to work. So if you've ridden the Whistler Gran Fondo, this is a approximate simulation, kind of leaving Squamish. It's not really that flat, or never feels that flat in Squamish, but we'll call it flat. And then the grade picks up. Few steep sections, and then we get into some slight downhills. When we get all the way to the bottom here, as we're riding, I'll try and talk us through it. A couple of cues that we can think about if we were out on the road, either doing a big long ride or a Fondo or whatever you get yourself into. So we get going here in 10 seconds, 90 to 100 RPM. We're at the top here, 60% output. Ready to start that opening 3 minutes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Lock it in. Nice and steady, efficient riding here. We're in our group. The road is mostly flat. We want to be relaxed. We know we got that hill coming up. Conserving our energy. Probably getting a little snack in, some water. Maybe that's just me. I'm a big snacker. Okay, steady here. 60% aerobic zone. Looking good. Two more minutes till we start our big climb. Enjoying this. Think about those technical points that we talked about in the warm-up. Smooth circles of the feet. Nice, strong, solid core. Upper body's relaxed. There we go. Obviously, if we were doing the Whistler Gran Fondo, we'd already have ridden to Squamish, so I wouldn't be feeling that fresh, but as fresh as possible. I feel like all the big serious climbs, the longer ones at least, and most of the Fondos around here are considerable distance into the ride. Okay, another minute here, steady. I know you're thinking, oh, I've done the Whistler Gran Fondo and Taylor Way's no joke, but it's short. I mean, come on. You're there, it's over. Like, did we even go up there? You can tell I haven't ridden Taylor Way in a while. Need that refresher of how steep it is. Okay, half minute till we make our first change. We'll be locking into the 75% zone for a big 7 minutes. Start of a long climb. Keep the leg speed 90 to 95 RPM. Some of you might already be there. Okay, change coming in 10 seconds. Low 90s with the cadence. Adding a bit more resistance. 75%. Here we go. Lock it in. Slightly different feeling in the legs. Got them loaded up a little bit more. So right away, you're focusing on who's around you. You want to find a solid group to be riding with. Still not a crazy pace. It's pretty manageable. But you will see people starting to fall back. Just like on any climb. Doesn't matter how fast you are. So you want to lock into those good riders, follow their wheels, staying alert. And obviously always thinking about your own body. How are we feeling? Make sure we're not overworking it. Making sure we're not allowing tension to build up in the shoulders. Just think about your breathing. Yeah. Okay, good. Hands relaxed on the bar. Wiggle those fingers. Don't want to be wasting any energy. We're going to need it when the grade picks up and it's a bit steeper. Okay, looking good. Feeling strong here. If you're thinking about the Whistler Gran Fondo, we're kind of up in that no person zone. Getting through Brackendale. You look up the road, doesn't seem to change. No problem. Focusing on ourselves, staying alert. Watching the people we're riding with. And looking for those other strong riders, picking out good wheels to follow. People who aren't riding well here, you probably want to avoid them because you know they're going to start to drop back. Not us. We're strong. We're right in our zone here. Checking to make sure you're still on your 75% output. Moving through this hill nicely. I find that these kind of moderate climbing sections where you're not going super hard, but it's just more of a long slog, not my jam usually. This is where I really have to focus. Make sure I'm not spending any extra energy where I shouldn't be, and just staying solid, connected, thinking about my pedal stroke. Smooth circles, power going into those pedals. We got about 3 minutes till our change here. Keep it locked in. Doing well. Remembering to drink here. Still pretty manageable to do that. You're breathing heavy probably, but get a few squirts in. Okay, 2 minutes to the change now. Checking our power. Make sure we're in the right zone, 75%. Still a nice cadence, low 90s. Very efficient. Keep that slight bend in the elbow now. Thinking posture, efficiency. Just over a minute till we make that change. So the hill's gonna get steeper. We got a minute, 80%, 85 to 90 RPM, and then a minute, same output, a little slower with the legs as the hill gets a bit steeper. So they're gonna have to buckle down there. Then you know you got a flat section coming up after that, so it's okay to work a bit. You'll get it back on the flats when we're in our group. High note, sheltered from the wind. Change coming in 45 seconds. Take a deep breath here. When you exhale, let the tension fall out of those shoulders, keeping everything loose. We'll let the cadence drop a little bit, 85 to 90 RPM. And we'll add a bit of resistance, 80%. Here we go. Hill gets a bit steeper. Again. Looking around, finding those good wheels to be on, looking for other riders that are like us, riding well, good pedal stroke, steady. Okay, we feel those legs now biting into a bit more resistance. You can feel that push-pull a little bit better here. Again, we're putting in the work, holding our spot in our group, but not overworking it. Okay, we'll slow the legs down again. 80, 85%. 80, 85 RPM. Find that range with the cadence, out of gear. We know that next change is into a flat section. Working here though. Yeah. Half minute to the change. Breathing. Just let the legs work. Yeah. Okay, change coming in 5 seconds. We're gonna drop back to 60% output, 90 to 100 RPM. 3, 2, 1. Here for 3 minutes. Check those numbers, 60%. You don't wanna drop lower. You don't wanna get left behind on the easy bit. Finding a smart position in our pack, sheltered, but near the front. Let the other people work. We know we have to conserve our energy here because the hill picks up again. Focus on your breathing here again. Settle the body down. We were just working pretty hard on that steep section. Now you want to tone things back a little bit. 2 more minutes here. Another good chance to get some water. On these long rides, big fondos, gotta keep drinking. Stay hydrated. You're not gonna be able to catch up if you start to get dehydrated. You gotta stay ahead of it. It's over a minute to the change. We're out on the road, another opportunity. Get a bit of food in. Okay, so we have another long, steady section, not overly steep coming up. 70 to 75% output. Cadence will be a bit lower, 80, 85. And throughout that chunk of time, I'll call a few small accelerations where we'll just pick the leg speed up 5 RPM. Obviously, that'll bring the power up, and that's what we want. People will be attacking, trying to shake us off. We're not going anywhere. We're staying right with them. Okay, here we go. We're into this 5-minute section, 70 to 75% output, 80 to 85 RPM. Slow the legs down, load it up. Here we go. Find that new pace. Getting sweaty over here. Too sweaty. Okay, new numbers, new leg speed. Same posture though. Chest open so you can breathe. So far the group's holding pretty steady with the pace. We know that won't last though. Eyes up the road, staying sharp. Looking around us, making sure we're not near anyone who's dropping back or getting slow. That's not us, we're strong. Steady, Yeah. Checking those numbers again, 70 to 75%. Gotta be in that zone to get the benefit of the training. Whew. Staying alert here. Checking in with those other riders. Even if it's just our friends that we're out on a long ride with. Don't need them sneaking away from us. Okay, pace of the front's picking up a little bit. Give me an extra 5 RPM. Here we go. Just think about being a little bit livelier. Nothing crazy. We want to react, but only as much as we need to stay where we need to be. Okay, back down, settle in. Low 80s of that cadence. Nobody got away from us. Steady again, making our way up this climb. Relax those hands now. Don't overgrip the bar. Save that energy. Use it in the legs. Not be intense up top. That's why the strong core is important. Allows us to be loose up top. Also sets up a really good platform for the legs to work off of. Okay, here comes our next little move. Bring it up at 5 RPM. Here we go. Small change, but you gotta cover it. Bit more pace. Good, and settle back in, low 80s with the cadence. Steady again. People aren't getting away from us. Really important to stay with a good group on these climbing sections. It's like the group training benefit in effect. If you're on your own, it's easy to get strung out, fall off your pace, but you got that person to follow those wheels to stay on. Use it. Always better to be in a group. Don't want to be stranded on your own. Half minute to the change here. Coming into another steep section for 2 minutes. Then we're going to stand for a minute. And in that last minute, we just push you over the top. Get to the downhill. Not stalling out at the very top of our big climb. Okay, stay in this 80, 85 RPM zone. We're going to take the power up. 80 to 90% output. Ready for the change. It's coming in 5. Here we go. Load them up. 3, 2, 1. Find that new pace. Steeper section. Here we go. We're the strong riders. Pushing and pulling. Producing those watts all the way around our pedal stroke. Keeping the eyes open, looking up the road. This is why we need that good posture. It's toughest to do when we're working hard. That's where we're at right now. Yeah, team, we're doing it together. Another minute here seated, then we stand. Crank it out. Couple minutes left to go. Hold that focus. Half minute till we stand. You can add a gear before we get out of the saddle if you want. Or you can stay where you are here. Just need to keep you going, motoring. We're standing to attack. Hold our spot in our group. Change coming in 10. Ready to stand for a minute. 3, 2, 1, up we go. Right into that rhythm. There it is. Body weight over the pedals. Tall in the upper body. Looking up the road. Need to know what's happening ahead of us. We're maintaining our spot in our group. That's great. Keep the work coming. 20 seconds till we sit. Excellent work. When we sit, we go to 90 RPM or higher, 70% output. 3, 2, 1, sit and go. At least 90 RPM here. Still on a slight uphill. You gotta push it right over the top. We know we got that downhill coming up. Just gotta get right into it so we don't stall out here. Keep it up now. Half minute to go. Keep those legs firing. You're gonna start to feel this rolling over the top. 15 till we're fully downhill. Come on. Five to go. 3, 2, 1, and easy. Okay, nice job. Whew. Yeah. Excellent riding there. So in our simulation, we beat into nice big downhill here. Okay. Excellent job with that. We'll ride it out easy gear. Give it about a minute to come back to life here. Then we'll flush those legs out. Upper 90s with the cadence. Just keep the gear light. We just want to keep the body moving, blood flowing. We're not working too hard, letting our body know. We start to bring that heart rate down. We are done for this workout. Okay. Legs are working that full pedal stroke, connected all the way around the turn. Okay, that was a nice, good long climb there, good simulation. Again, even if you're not doing the Whistler Fondo, there will be a section like that in most of the big rides. I know in the Valley Fondo at least, there's a climbing section. Slightly different, but same idea, same cues, same focus required. Obviously not every profile is going to be the same, but that was a good one we did today. Gradually building with grade, a little flat section, and then the hill builds again. Okay, we'll keep it rolling here for another 90 seconds. Little active recovery at the end. Helps flush out some of that work. Allows the legs to recover a little bit better and hopefully feel better over the next 24 hours or so. Finish off those water bottles, get rehydrated. 45 more seconds here to keep it rolling. And then we'll shut her down. Whew. Okay, half minute here. Obviously, if you've got time, you can ride it out for longer. The longer your cool down, the better you'll feel later, potentially. Potentially. Okay, slow those legs down. Nice job, everyone. Excellent ride. Thanks for joining in. We'll see you next week.